Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Mike Kocsis here, the machine. I did a video on the beach just a few hours ago, and I couldn't believe it. It was just kind of an impromptu thing, and I got an incredible response. A lot of messenger questions, and people were saying they couldn't hear me. They loved it because it was at the beach and they could hear the ocean in the background, but they couldn't hear me, so they couldn't make out the exercises and the tips that I was saying. So here's, I'm going to redo it, and I'm going to do it in a different manner, obviously out here in my backyard by the pool, and to let you know, to let you understand that you can do these workouts that I'm going to be giving you, these Q20. I'm calling them Q20, I'm calling them quarantine 20 pounds, because I get a lot of people reaching out to me saying, hey Mike, this has been horrible, during this quarantine, shutdown, lockdown, whatever you want to call it, I've gained like 20 pounds. It always seems to be like I gained like 20. It seems like people they try to stop it at the 20 point, which is good. But, so we're going to call it the Q20, I'm going to call it the Q20 workouts. And these are going to be 6 to 10 minute workouts that you can do whether you're in a suit and tie at your office, or whether you're at home, or anywhere, whether you're in your backyard, whether you're at the beach. And I'm doing it in that manner because, again, the other thing is the excuses that people make. They always say they don't have time, they can't do it, they can't go to a gym, this or that. There's always an excuse, and there really is no excuse other than you just don't want to. So if you do want to, I'm going to give you the tools so that you can, and that's what I plan to do. So I'm going to be giving you this stuff for free. With I'm not monetizing anything. If you would like to reach out to me and get some deeper information, of course we can talk about that. If you want to do something more with your health and your nutrition, obviously that's what I do. So contact me directly, and I will obviously give you every bit of information I can, and every bit of guidance that is possible. But for now, today we're going to do the Q20, what I call my 6-minute six-pack workout. All right, and this is a series of 6 exercises done in a circuit, and with 6 minutes a day, you could have strong abs. Now, will you start seeing them? No, that's nutrition. You'll see your abs if you eat right and if you follow my nutrition plan, which I will gladly give you if you reach out to me. However, you're only going to see them if you're putting the right stuff in your mouth so that you can slim down the subcutaneous fat, adipose tissue around your midsection. And when you do that, then of course the abs will show. But we all have abs. They just might be under a layer of fat or a couple layers of fat after this quarantine. So let's work on one thing at a time. If you want to work on actually seeing those abs, then let's talk about nutrition. That's going to take a little doing for everybody's individual and different. But as far as strengthening them so that you can feel good and strong, and that you're not going to feel so lumbersome, and you're maybe strengthening your low back, because this will help strengthening your core so that you can do other activities more efficiently and effectively. That's what we're going to do today with the 6-minute six-pack. So here's the way it goes. I have my mat laid out here. You don't have to have a mat. You can do it on soft floor or whatever. Or I'm just doing that because I don't want my shirt to stick to this cement. Also, I have it listed over here over my shoulder. You'll be able to see when I lay down. But also, I'm gonna splice this video so that you can see the workout in the beginning, and then of course I'll post it at the end as well. So the workout that I like to do is laying down. The first thing is you have to understand how to keep your abs tight. Now, most people mess up on their ab work because they just simply kind of go through the motions and they don't squeeze the muscle. Your abs are a muscle like any other muscle. I wouldn't do bicep curls by just going like this. I'm going to squeeze that muscle. Same thing applies with your abs. So you have to get them in a contraction situation, in a contracted state, and keep them there. You're going to lighten up, but you're going to come back. You're going to lighten up, and you're going to come back. You're not going to ease off and then go again, then ease off and then go again. That's not the best way to perform abdominal work, and you're not going to efficiently strengthen your abs by doing that. Now, the other key is you don't want to yank on your neck, your head and neck. That is going to put undue stress on your neck, on your sternocleidomastoid, on all of your neck muscles, and it's going to, obviously, a lot of times people say, oh, I got such a sore neck from doing abs, because you're yanking on your neck, and then of course that affects your shoulders, that affects you get headaches and all kinds of things, plus you're pulling on your spinal cord, that's going to affect your back. So I actually developed a device that I like to call the absolator, because I believe it absolutely isolates your abs. And this is what I use. Now, I don't have it on the market yet. I've actually sold some in the beta form. If you would like to grab one, reach out to me, and I will obviously, make sure that I get one, that I make one, and I get it out to you. But I make these myself. And bottom line is, there's a reason for the design, and that's something that I could get into over my 35 years of knowledge with this. But I like to use this because it puts my neck in the proper format. I'm going to show you in a second, but if you don't have an absolator yet, and I'll get you one if you want one, take your thumbs, like you're saying, thumbs up, and put them both into your clavicle, okay? Right in your clavicle, like this. Then take your fingers and elongate them. You're going to be looking like this, like you would catch a football pass. That's how your fingers and your hands are going to be. They're going to be rigid. You're going to dig into your clavicle and then rest your cranium, rest your noggin right on your fingertips. Okay, that's going to give you the proper strong position so that your head and neck are not stressed out and you're not yanking on them. I'm never using my hands to pull. I am simply squeezing my abs. As you can see, I'm actually even, jittering a little bit with that, because it makes my muscles pull and I'm keeping my neck strong. However, most people have an issue with that. That's why the absolator comes into play. But this is not an advertisement for my absolator, but in any case, this is designed so that it rests on your clavicles, and of course you rest your noggin on the back end, and then you have someplace to put your hands. And this keeps you nice and tight. So, once you have the position right, and you have your head and your neck satisfied, now we're going to talk about how you squeeze those abs. What you want to do is, right now, my scapula, my back, so to speak, is flat. My shoulder blades, if you will, is flat. I want to roll up and get them off the ground. As soon as they get off the ground, you're going to feel your abs tight, okay? When you do that, that is your contraction state. The more you come up, or whatever you do down low, that's going to fire your ab muscles. If you are resting here and you're doing something down here, the muscles they're all not firing. All the neurons, everything is not totally contracting. You may only be getting about 25 to 30% out of your ab. I want to get 100% out of my rectus abdominis, out of my side obliques, out of my intercostals. I want to get 100% if I can. But mainly, I definitely want to work that core 100%. The only way to do that is to stay in a contracted state. So I'm going to roll up, get my shoulder blades, or scapulas, if you will, off the ground, and I feel my abs tight. Then and only then should I continue with my exercise. So the first exercise we're going to do is basic crunches. What do I do with my feet? I don't just lay them down there. I want to dig my heels in and pull my toes back towards me. You're going to feel your quadricep tighten. When that happens, you're taking the quad, or you're taking your hip flexor. So that's what I want to say. You're taking your hip flexor out of it for the most part, and you're taking where it connects to your quadricep out, because you don't want to use momentum, and you don't want those big muscles to be doing the work. You want your rectus abdominis doing the work, and your low ab if possible. So dig your heels in, point your toes back. Now I'm in a contracted state, and I'm going to come back, and as soon as my shoulder blades, my scapulas touch the ground, that's when I come back up. I'm just going to down and up, back up. I'm not going to rest. I'm not going like this and resting. I'm squeezing and release. Squeeze, and as soon as they hit, release. Squeeze, hiya, and release. Squeeze, and already 5 reps, and I'm getting fired up. So, basic crunch first. Try to get between 10 and 15 of those. I like to go with a straight 10 across the board because then I can get through all 6 exercises. And if I decide I want to go another round, I can usually get 10 out of each exercise each round. Now, basic crunches first. Then I'm going to go right into a bicycle crunch. That is not to be done fast and wacky, like you'll see people going like this. No, it's slow, it's methodical, and it's in a crunched position. Shoulder blades are off the ground. Okay, and I'm going 1, 1, alternate, 2, 2, and see, I'm never resting. I'm not laying down like this and going like this. I'm up in my contracted position, and I'm coming across, and I'm squeezing, and I'm bringing my forearm to my knee. I would say elbow, but the way my positioning is, that's how it is. To knee, forearm to knee, squeezing tightly. Shoulder blades off the ground, contracted position the whole time. Okay, that's number 2. Again, I try to do about 10 of those. Then I go right into, now if you can only do in the beginning 6 or 8, do what you can. Go to what I call positive failure. You go as much as you can, the best you can, to positive failure, and you don't lay down on your back. The next one we're going to do is leg raises, okay? And I'm just going to get in my crunched position, and I'm reaching my legs up, not fully all the way here. I don't want my hips to turn. As soon as my hips start to turn, I'm coming back down because I want to use the abs. I don't want to twist the hip, okay? I've got my knees slightly bent. I've got them together, basically. I got my feet together, and I'm pointing my toes upward, and I'm squeezing my low ab, and I'm staying in crunched position with my shoulder blades up. Tap and back. Okay, 10 of those. Then we're going to go right into a side oblique. Okay, side oblique is just one side, and then we go to the other. How I do that is I get my basic crunch position with my heels in, my toes up. I'm going to take the one leg that I'm going to use just to the side a little bit. I'm just, instead of being in the center, one of them I take to the side. That gets the side oblique ready to go, and then this is also intercostals, and I squeeze. I take this elbow, and I point that elbow to the hip. I point that elbow to the hip. I squeeze the side right here. Point to the hip. And I'm going to get those reps, about 10 reps, and then I'm going to go to the other side. Take that knee out, squeeze. Knee, elbow. As you see, my elbow's going. Hopefully you can see that. I'll take this out of the way. My elbow's to my knee. And I'm just going to the side. And again, I'm in that crunched position the whole time. I'm not laying down, I'm crunched position. I never lie down and rest. Okay, whew, they are firing up, and I haven't even done all 10 reps. Then I'm gonna go to my 5th exercise is my leg scissor crunch. I get in my crunch position, my legs are straight, and I'm going 1, 1, 2, 2. Again, toes are pointed back, heels are tapping the ground, and I'm staying in my crunch position. This is a real firer for that low ab if you keep your legs correct. If you stay in that crunch position, you'll feel it up top, and then after about 3 or 4 reps, those low abs will be fired up. And then we're going to finish off with what I call the dead man's crunch. I'm going to lie down like I'm the dead man. I'm going to get in my crunched position, and then I'm going to come up. And 1, 2. Notice I'm not flattening out. I'm staying up, tapping. Up, tap, up, tap, up, tap. Oh boy, up, tap, and I finish off. So that is I'm gonna go grab the board. That is the 6-minute 6-pack, okay? And as you can see, we are gonna start out, and you just keep that positioning properly. If you're positioned properly, you'll be fine when you do this, and you're gonna go from regular basic crunch, then you're gonna go to, okay, regular basic crunch with your toes pointed, your heels in, your heels dug in and your toes pointed back. Then you're going to go into your alternating bicycle crunches. Then you're going to go to your leg raises. Then you're going to go to your side oblique crunches, one side each. Then you're going to go to your leg scissor crunches. Then you got your dead man's crunch. 6 exercises. They'll each take you about a minute with, what you can do with your rest in between, because you may have to rest for, 10 seconds till you go to the next one. They might be fired up so much. And that's going to take you less than 6 minutes. Once you get good at it and you can get through this one time and it only takes you 2 minutes or 3 minutes, then you do it again. You do the rotation again. So you do 10 to 15 reps each exercise, 1 to 4 circuits or rounds per rotation. 10 reps of 1 to 4 rotations. That's it. That's your 6-minute six-pack. So I hope you loved it. If you do, share it around. If you think it'll be of value to others, make sure you share this and share me. And go over to my YouTube channel as well, because I'm going to start doing these. Like I said, I got the whole Q20 Quarantine 20 workout coming out, and I'm going to give that out in pieces. All right. God bless you all. If you're interested in the Absolator, reach out to me about that as well. That should be on the market after this whole pandemic is over. But until it's over, I'm going to make them one by one and give them to my friends. All right. I'll talk to you soon. God bless you. All right.